We really appreciate your making the time to spend this evening, this very special evening, together with us to celebrate Hemp History Week. My name is Kevin Conley. I'm Associate Director of the Earth Island Institute. We're an environmental nonprofit that was founded 30 years ago in San Francisco by David Brower, the namesake of this LEED Platinum Green building that we're all in here together. And we're located up on the 4th floor for the past 4 years since the building's been here. And we're home to 64 independently affiliated projects that work on a whole range of environmental issues here locally in the Bay Area, around the country, and in about 55 countries around the world. And we're really thrilled last year to welcome a project founded by John Trudell and Willie Nelson, the Hempstead Project Heart. And they're the folks who putting this event on tonight, and I'll be your host for the evening. So I want to, in addition to thank you for being here, I want to honor and recognize that we are here on traditional, sacred, indigenous land of the Ohlone people. And we want to give our thanks and blessings and be mindful that we are still here with the ancestors and the people today that live here from those communities. And we're glad that we have representatives from the indigenous communities from the region and around this Turtle Island. So thank you for being here. And we have a great evening planned for you. I have some other thanks. I want to acknowledge and thank that it's Hemp History Week, and we, in a moment, will hear from a representative of Hemp History Week, Anna Owen. And we have some wonderful supporters and vendors that will take a break after a talk and a performance from Good Shield Aguilar and Mignon Hele, performing some indigenous soul for us in a bit. And take a little break and go spend some time with the information tables that are outside and the vendors that we have. And I want to thank those folks particularly for being here: External, Hemptiness, Minnoware, Snag, Bay Roots, the Hemp History Week folks, which includes the Hemp Industry Association, Vote Hemp, and they're also representing many members of those groups, Nutiva, Doc Bronner's, Manitoba Harvest, and others. And there's some free samples out there in addition to some of the products. And I also want to thank the folks who really helped put this together. First and foremost is John's partner in Project Hempstead Project Heart, Faye Brown, who's in Minnesota, can't be here, but you all know Faye. Yes, Faye's been a tireless, amazing force for good in the world, activist, and she's been on the phone to me non-stop, checking in every few minutes to make sure everything's going well here. She's a good mom. And I also want to thank Anna Owen, as I mentioned, from Hemp History Week for helping us out, and David Pilar, also from Hemp History Week, and he's outside and you can meet both of them, and really the co-presenters of this event as well, Linda Dallaire and Leah Walters, and they're actually doing double duty. So if you don't get enough of this tonight, or if you enjoy it, tell other people to come up to Petaluma. We're going to do it all over again tomorrow. There's going to be a bigger hemp fair throughout the day. There'll be a film at 4 o'clock that showed in San Francisco on Thursday that John spoke at, called Bringing It Home, which is a really remarkable film about all the amazing uses and applications of hemp that people around the world are doing that we'd like to be able to do here someday in the future. And John Trudell and Bad Dog will perform tomorrow night at 7:30 at the Sunflower Center up in Petaluma. So tell folks after tonight to join us tomorrow as well. Many more people I'm sure I'm missing. I want to thank our volunteers as well, Pam and Ben and Anthony and oh man, there's so many, Madonna and Tenzin and Bob Hollis. There's so many great folks that really came together in community to help us put this, Amanda as well, to put this together. So thank you all for being here, and we're going to have a great time together, and we're going to learn a lot, and we're going to laugh, and we're going to have some fun as well, because that's what it's all about, right? So without further ado, we'll get into the program a little bit, and it's my distinct honor to introduce Anna Owen. She's the National Event Coordinator for Hemp History Week, and she'll tell you more about it, but I think there's nearly 1,000 events going on around the world for Hemp History Week, which is really amazing and astounding. The tide is turning. And she volunteers with Vote Hemp, doing farmer outreach, because really, that's really what John's project and all this is all about, is really helping the rural farm economy, the indigenous nations, the rural farm economy around the country as well, so we can legalize the growing and production of industrial hemp. In the summer of 2011, Anna traveled to Manitoba, Canada, where they are growing industrial hemp in great acreage, to interview farmers, government officials, and hemp industry leaders. She's drawn to this work to forward the hemp movement and perceives hemp as a survival commodity crop of the future for food, shelter, clothing, and energy. Overall, she strives to expand hemp from solely a privileged market to become accessible to people worldwide. Please make welcome Anna Owen, National Event Coordinator for Hemp History Week.
Hello, everyone. It's an honor to be with all of you today. And my name is Anna. Thank you for such a kind introduction, Kevin. And a little about me. I'm from San Bernardino, California. And I fell in love with hemp about 5 years ago. And I wanted just to learn as much as I could about this amazing crop, this nutrition, this fiber. And I decided to devote my life to this. And here I am with all of you celebrating the 4th annual Hemp History Week, which is held in all 50 states. And this year we have about 880 events, a solid number. It's growing each year. And it's a really diverse campaign. It's an education focus to reach out to communities, to talk about hemp food, building houses, just so much potential with this crop. And this campaign also involves restaurants, dozens of restaurants, hundreds of activists. David Pillar, he is the coordinator, the national coordinator for an amazing program that was just introduced this year. It's called the Hemp History Week College Roadshow Tour, and he traveled 9,000 miles within 2 months with a trailer. He did have a motorhome at one point, but that's a whole other story we can talk about. Now he transferred over to a moving truck, and he brought hemp into higher education to universities to get student energies and get them excited about this. What's intriguing about the hemp movement is it's not just hemp, it's so many other social movements that are just come together, and that's what I think is so beautiful about it. You know, it's about Mother Earth, it's about having a crop for future generations that can supply these basic human needs without destroying our mother. And I would like to share a quote with you. This quote is from my travels to Manitoba, and this is from a farmer. His name is Chris, and he's one of the co-founders of the Parkland Industrial Hemp Growers Co-op. And these groups of farmers, they came together when hemp was legalized in 1998, and they did a lot of breeding and research and figuring out how to harvest this crop. It's one of the toughest fibers, and they're literally burning down, $300,000 piece of equipment figuring out how to harvest this thing. But this is under the larger industrial model of agriculture, but nevertheless, what these farmers have done and what they're doing is amazing. And this is the quote from Chris. "I'd like to see rural development. I'd like to see my little community do better. I like to see people come back and work. I like to see my fields in better shape than they were 10 years ago. Agronomically, I'd like the soil to be healthy. In farming, you think about generations, not just 2 years from now." And that quote has resonated with me, really informing my work and why I want to talk to farmers. And there's just so much work that needs to be done, and we need everybody in this room to just spread the word. Right now, one of our focus with this campaign is to change the federal law That way farmers are not prosecuted, because right now, federally, hemp is defined pretty much as marijuana, and that needs to be changed in order to be able to do this development and this research that needs to happen. So we're talking jobs, green economy, we're talking energy, and what really inspires me is doing dual purpose cropping, so that's food and fiber from one crop. And I think that's something that is really beautiful about hemp, is that you can get tons and tons of fiber and food. And a little bit more about Hemp History Week. I just have to thank people like John Roulac from Nativa, who have devoted, their lifetime to sustainability, to, the non-GMO movement. And it's my honor to introduce him to come up to share with you some information about his journey, which is really inspiring as well. So John Roulac, he's the founder of Nativa, and he, like I said, has done a lot of amazing work. Wrote tons of books on just organic farming and alternative ways to live on this earth. And yeah, it's an honor to be with all of you. And please, I'm sure I missed something, so please talk to me more about Hemp History Week. I'd love to share more with you. Thank you.
Thanks, Anna. Yeah, both Anna and David have really worked hard to educate people about hemp, and though it seems to make a lot of sense. Hemp is it's a great crop to grow. There's a lot of opposition to hemp in America and the power structure. So I've been involved in advocating hemp for over 20 years. I thought we might be growing it about 10 years ago, but we're keep working at it. Hemp is grown in over 32 countries around the world. Most of the hemp foods. How many people eat hemp foods in the last week?
Oh, no.
Great.
No.
Good. That's all coming from Canada. So if Canadian farmers can grow it, if Chinese farmers can grow it, why can't American farmers grow it? Why? My company, we're based here in Richmond, Nativa. We're bringing in about 2 trucks loads every week from Canada with hemp foods. We'd much rather buy it from here more locally or from other farmers in America. So it's got a great potential. I wanted to just mention a couple things. Besides food, the use of hemp for building materials is definitely one of the very interesting applications. I just came back from Europe to the European Industrial Hemp Conference, which is a gathering of different people in the hemp industry in Europe. And they're building so many houses and even large facilities. One of the largest supermarket chains in England, 175,000 square feet, like bigger than, way bigger than any Whole Foods around here. All the panels were all made out of industrial hemp. And they're doing it not necessarily just because it's hemp, because it saves and conserves energy. And they're talking about basically building a hemp house that you can grow it in your field, you can harvest it and build the walls, and it actually is locking carbon from the atmosphere. We have this percentage of carbon keeps increasing because of this industrial way we live, and hemp is a great way. And basically they take the core fibers, woody fibers in hemp, mix it with lime, and turn it into like a plaster and make them non-load-bearing walls. And outside you can go ahead and take a look at this. One of the great things is we're going to be able to not only build new houses and new buildings, but you're going to be able to remodel. So you can take like an old brick building or other buildings you need to remodel, and we can insulate this, and basically you're not going to have to worry about spending so much money on heating, because it's going to be much warmer in the winter and cooler in the summer. So that's exactly what we need to conserve energy. So there's going to be a lot of benefits. At the same time, hemp isn't, just because we grow it in America, it's not necessarily going to be a slam dunk. There's challenges to processing hemp, and so it's something that we need to continue to make improvements on, because remember, we stopped growing hemp in the 1930s, so it kind of went away for a long time. So there's still some challenges there. If you want to help see hemp grow in America, we need to put pressure on our legislators. So right now there's a bill in Congress. We have, I think, about 25 members of the House of Representatives that sponsored this
41.
41, wow. I mean, every year it just keeps growing. And a year and a half ago, we didn't have any senators, not one senator. And today, what's it, is it 6 or 7, 5 or 6, I think? And including, ironically, Mitch McConnell from, Kentucky, one of the most conservative Republicans. But because of the interest in Kentucky, and there's a bill in Kentucky that just recently passed, he's coming out for it. So there's lots of good progress. We're trying to get a hearing on the House or on the Senate side. One of the people who's blocking it is Senator Dianne Feinstein. Yeah. So we need to put some pressure on her, okay? So a couple weeks ago, I put it on Facebook. This woman is blocking industrial hemp. Because when you write her, what she says is, growing industrial hemp will, quote, confuse law enforcement. I mean that's the DE. This just right out of the DEA playbook, So of course what are the Canadians confused? No. Are the Chinese confused? No. None of these. The French are confused? No, not at all. So definitely contact Feinstein's office, because every person who calls or sends a letter, that's equivalent to like 100 people who have the same feeling, just have them. So each one of you could go ahead and do that. That would be great to get that, because if she hears from enough people, she'll go, okay, well, next time I run for re-election, I better not piss off these amount of people. So we'll do this. So we need to put some pressure on it. And also, there's a bill in California. It's passed I think the House. And that's going on to the Senate. Maybe it's the other way around. But there was no opposition at all. It passed unanimously, and then it'll go to the governor's office. But even ironically, even in California, with someone like Jerry Brown, the last hemp bill he vetoed. That shows you that. I mean, he's supposedly in terms of green policies, he's more green than most governors in the country. And even he vetoed it. So there's some challenges here, but the market's growing. That's over a $500 million market for hemp products sold in the United States. So it's not like it's just this tiny little industry. It's definitely growing. Everything I'm wearing here is made from hemp. We can build cars. There's over 1 million cars made out of hemp. So with hemp fiber for insulation for door panels. And the reason why these car companies are doing it, because they can make it lighter weight, so we can get better gas mileage. So there's a lot of great potential there. So anyways, just wanted to share a few of those things, and I'll turn it back to Kevin. And thanks for everybody for coming for the Hemp History Week.